Hello and welcome to round 11 of Grand Prix Atlantic City. I'm Brian David Marshall, and I'm joined by Jacob Luna, and we are watching Andrew Cunio there on your right. You saw him in the hat, and he's playing against Stephen Neal. These are two of the three remaining 10-0 players. The third player is Chris Fennell, of course, who we just watched go to 10-0 last round. He's off playing on the floor somewhere, preying on some poor unsuspecting fool.
With his double crux of fate deck.
Oh, Jeskai Infiltrator from Stephen Neal.
Very nice one. We've talked at length between rounds about the strength of Andrew Cunio's Soul Summons. You have to remember, he has 2 copies of Den Protector, so a lot of the time he'll be casting Soul Summons on turn 2, morphing Den Protector on turn 3, and then on turn 4 he can flip up his Den Protector, return the Soul Summons to his hand, and recast it, which is pretty powerful.
So attack with my Manifest. Stephen Neal has no blocks.
I wonder if Manifest is live. Definitely possible.
There's a Morph.
And are we going to see the sequence that I just talked about?
Okay, Infiltrator's unblockable. Gets in. Play the little mini game. He's like, I've actually never done this before. Let me read this to make sure. Okay, and gets to split his manifests.
It's a fun card. It can be pretty tricky at times.
And then we see Neal's holding a Dousing Gloom.
That's pretty nice right now.
Do you just fire that off at a Morph right now?
I think so, especially considering what was passed in the draft.
Yeah, that's what he does. And it's a Segmented Crotic.
So it could certainly have been something better in Cunio's deck.
4th land for Cunio. Plays another Soul Summons. So he's really like playing the Manifest game here.
Yeah, 4 Manifests in play already. Turn 4. That would be a record for me, seeing this on camera.
All right, attack. Send in my 2 mystery creatures. One of them's real, one of them's not. Okay, so we get a double block from Cunio. But it is the Den Protector!
Oh, that is huge.
And he gets back a Soul Summons. So everything dies, but Cunio gets a card out of it.
Yeah, and he gets first dibs on getting back on the board, get to play another land here. Things really favor him a lot right now. If he can play a big creature and then back it up with cards like Hunt the Weak and Epic Confrontation, then he's going to be in great shape.
Yep. He plays a Manifest, plays a Morph. And again, there's more Den Protectors to be had.
Yeah. And the absolute best thing to do, it's fun and constructed, but it's absurd and limited, is to return a Den Protector with a Den Protector.
I could see that giving fits to Chris Fennell should these guys face each other.
Absolutely, if Andrew's able to find both Den Protectors.
But there's a Gurmag Angler. That's a nice way to recover from a bloodbath.
Absolutely. Card's huge.
There's a Conifer Strider.
Matches up pretty nicely here.
Yeah. But I think Stephen Neal is going to start recruiting an Air Force here. Ojutai summons. He gets a Jin Monk. He'll get another Jin Monk next turn when that card rebounds. And he's pretty content to sit back behind his Gurmag Angler.
I would be too. Den Protector returning Den Protector.
So hold on a second. So he manifested, he Soul Summons twice, and both times Soul Summoned into Den Protector.
He Soul Summoned 3 times, to be fair.
Yeah, to be fair. What did he get back with
Den Protector. Got back Den Protector.
Oh, well, that's fair.
Seems reasonable.
And Conifer Strider is just like, he just says, I've got enough card advantage here. I'll 2-for-1 myself.
It's pretty crazy at this point.
So Neil falls to 15. He has no blocks on the Den Protector or the Morph.
Ooh, and it's Herald of Dromoka.
All right. Second Jin Monk comes down for Stephen Neal. Oh, look at him. Why? How do all these people have Rakshasa Grave Callers? Were they on sale?
I suppose so. We saw Fennell got his second pick.
Oh, that's insane.
It's disgusting.
We saw Frank Scarron had one also.
Oh, wow. So 3 of those in this draft, at least.
All right. Jeskai Sage. Looks like Neil's taking his time here. Neil said somehow it wasn't a grave caller at the end, but I'm pretty sure it was.
It's always nice to sacrifice a card like Jeskai Sage to a card like Gravecrawler, and those Jin Monks do have a lot of value currently, so they can pretty safely trade the Monk with the Herald if he wants to here. It's under quite a bit of pressure. Of course, his hand does have quite a bit of racing power, the Butcher's Glee, so he might just...
Oh, he's probably thinking about the Butcher's Glee here. Den Protector just happens to be, fittingly on Mother's Day, a warrior mom. So Butcher's Glee is going to save the token. It's going to pump the Jeskai Sage, which will let him draw a
trade.
Yep, but it lets it trade and draw a card, which is sweet.
Yeah.
And just a Den Protector left for Andrew at the end of that, and then he plays a Morph, which we believe is a Den Protector.
Likely another Den Protector. Another copy of Butcher's Glee there for Stephen Neal. And Butcher's Glee at its absolute best against a deck like Green-White, where they can't punish you for, within its speed.
No ability to go 2-for-1 on your
Yeah, I mean, they can,
card.
but it usually costs like 5 mana or something. There are some situations like Sandblast, but they're few and far between. Especially because you usually want to be using something like Butcher's Glee in your absolute fatty boom booms.
Okay, so a Morph and pass for Stephen Neal. Now Andrew's thinking about his Den Protector, no doubt.
Yeah, and I mean, he was really hoping to get a race on this game, but the 5 points of life gain for Stephen Neal really put a kink in that plan.
Gets back Hunt the Week.
Yeah, and this is going to be dangerous because, again, Butcher's Glee is going to play pretty nicely here.
He's thinking about it.
I believe it's Marsh Titan Stephen Neal has there. He has a pair of Jin Monks.
You mean the Marsh Hulk?
Yes, Marsh Hulk. Oof. And that's pretty strong.
Yeah, there's the Butcher's Glee, so it's going to regenerate, it's going to pump its power, and it's going to just gain him a bunch of life when the 2 creatures fight.
Another 5 life there for Stephen Neal. He's going to pop it to 22 there and kill the Den Protector.
Yeah, and not lose anything. I mean, he loses the Butcher's Glee, but whatever.
Yeah, it's a very nice 2-for-1 for Stephen Neal here. Dealing with both the essentially 4/3 unblockable creature and the removal spell from Cunio.
Yeah. Wow. Now it taps the Morph when it regenerates, so and he gets in with the Den Protector, but that just drops him back below, just a hair under 20.
Cunio, despite using 3 different regrowth effects with those Den Protectors Down to just one card.
Yeah. And Marsh Hulk turns up.
And that's
Yeah.
it.
Stephen Neal takes the game from Andrew Cunio despite getting to recur soul summons and hunt the weak. But Butcher's Glee was really the card there. And
Yeah.
you talked about it a little bit, the idea that green-white really
Gets punished by that
really
card.
just gets punished by regenerating, especially when you're fighting. Like the boost of power, the regeneration, the life gain. It's just a brutal cocktail for that deck. Here you get a
That's
look
a really good way to put it.
at Daniel Chetti playing against Jacob Wilson. Jacob Wilson, of course, the subject of a Magic documentary just released this past week from Vice Films.
Really great film there. If you guys want to check it out. Daniel just won a Grand Prix playing
Daniel
Green Devotion deck splashing white for Mastery of the Unseen.
Yeah. Previously a WMCQ winner, was on the U.S. national team 2 years back. Jacob Wilson, of course, two-time Pro Tour top 8 competitor.
Made it all the way to the finals of one of his very first Pro Tours.
Yeah. Won multiple Grand Prix in his career as well.
My favorite of which was when he played against Josh Utterley in the finals with a 75-card mirror.
Yes.
Might have been 74, but...
Yeah, playing a Josh Utter-Leighton deck against Josh Utter-Leighton and beating him has got to feel pretty good.
And he played well. I think he was...
We were all really impressed with it. It was Grand Prix Chicago.
That was great.
Modern. Which is really a format that Jacob has had the most success in. So here's a morph. Looks like an Acid Spear Dragon.
So...
Chetti's up against it here.
Yeah, down to 5. It looks like he has a lot of powerful spells in his hand, though. And
These are Reach of Shadows.
Ruthless Deathfang from the looks of things. Harsh Sustenance.
How do you feel about Ruthless Deathfang?
So I think it's the best of the dragons,
Yeah.
of the 6-mana dragons, but I've actually found the 6-mana dragons underperform quite a bit.
Yeah, the problem is that they have these really cool abilities, but they kind of come out at the end of your curve, and they require you to be doing other things, and you're kind of like depleted by the time you get there. Okay, Acid Spear Dragon turns face up, and it's gonna die to a Reach of Shadows.
Yeah, and I have to like Daniel's spot here, especially with that Dutiful Attendant in play. And, if he's going to get lucky and top deck some sort of exploit creature, he's going to be able to combo that with the Dutiful Attendant and the Ruthless Deathfang.
But doesn't want to commit the Ruthless Deathfang to the board here?
It's interesting. I imagine this is going to be a Megamorph from Daniel.
6 mana from Jacob Wilson. Oh, play Swift Warkite. Okay, we're gonna go back though. I think Jacob's gonna end up getting this one here, but we're gonna go back where Duress has been played on turn 1.
Yeah, when you know that your opponent's 2-drops are mostly copies of Soul Summons, and maybe your deck's light on 2-drops, you don't have a lot to defend the early game, you're on the draw. Duress is not too bad.
Yeah, it's basically a Thoughtseize. Well, it's an Inquisition of Kozilek, because you're gonna be able to take a creature here, but it's gonna be a Soul Summons. Shape the Sands was in hand for Andrew Cunio.
Yeah, and I think that might be a good sideboard choice here.
Well, that's an anti-Butcher's Glee card.
Precisely. Your opponent's spending 3 mana. They're going to gain some life, but you get to spend 1 mana and essentially negate the play.
Tarka Beastbreaker for Cunio. Oh, wow.
It's big.
Cash defenses, bolster 3, bash in. Oh, and Stephen Neal is scuffling here. He has to pass the turn. Cunio just comes in.
Already down to 10 now.
Yeah. And there's a Conifer Strider.
So presenting lethal damage.
That's the game. Andrew Cunio evens the matchup. 1 game apiece.
turn 5 kill unlimited.
Yeah.
That's not too easy to pull off.
When your opponent cooperates, it is. So coming back here, you see the Swift Warkite blocked by a Ruthless Deathfang. Oh, and Coat with Venom. Eats the Deathfang.
Great situation to use Coat with Venom. It's a card that oftentimes can be pretty narrow, but if you have enough creatures in your deck, it can generally be pretty good.
Chetti's at 6. I'm not sure. Oh, it looks like there's a game land in there somewhere.
Yeah, Scoured Barrens.
It's going to Vulturous Haven. It's going to go to 4. He sacks the Dutiful Attendant.
Probably not thrilled that he...
Oh, but there's an Archfiend of Depravity.
Ooh, I didn't know about that one.
And draws 2 cards. One of which is a Reach of Shadows.
Suddenly, not looking too bad here.
But he's a 4. It's so, there's so many cards that just close the game out.
Yeah, and I mean, here he's going to have to try to use the Vulturous Zombie with the Harsh Sustenance to deal with Hellkite. I don't really think there's another play for him. And that puts him in a dangerous situation.
So you're saying block with Vulturous Haven and then just do 2 more with the Harsh Sustenance in game 2.
To try to finish it off. But the problem is, if Jacob has any sort of trick in hand, you just get blown out. But you don't really have much of a choice.
He drew a Reach of Shadows. He can just kill it.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was misreading what that card was in hand. Ooh.
Pitiless Horde.
It's a nice one.
With dash. And everybody comes in. Marsh Hulk blocks the Pitiless Horde. Vulturous Haven blocks the Minister of Pain. And Reach of Shadows tries to take down the Swift Warkite.
And Jacob can't be thrilled with that turn of events.
All right, we'll give you an update on how this worked out. We're going to go back to our undefeated players here. Stephen Neal and Andrew Cunio. Elusive Spellfist, followed up by Jeskai Infiltrator.
Nice start there.
Stephen Neal. Andrew Cunio has an Atarka Beastbreaker on turn 2, and this is his turn 3 when we pick up the action.
And Cunio, his deck is really aggressive. He's really hoping to catch his opponents off kilter and take over the game. One of the major issues with Cunio's deck is that in this format, in blue especially, there tend to be like a lot of X3s at the common and uncommon level, and those cards kind of just make a brick wall that's hard to get through.
Okay, so defeat. Right. Defeat for Stephen Neal, pumps the Spellfist, takes down the Morph. Infiltrator gets in. But it's hard to block on the early turns anyway. 2/3 versus 2/2s. Like the Morphs and the 2-drops are all, difficult for it to block.
Infiltrator plays really well.
Yeah. And then you see his 2 manifests. The one closest to the Spellfist is an island.
When your opponent has a card like Infiltrator in their deck, and then they manifest their creatures in a certain way, it's good to remember where they put the Infiltrator in relation to the other manifest, because chances are the next time they do it, they're going to do the same thing. It's the either rock, paper, scissors theory. If somebody throws rock, they're more likely to throw rock the next time, so on and so forth.
I like to shuffle them up, put them down, and then look.
Look afterward?
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
So gain land for Cunio and a Morph. And everybody attacks for Stephen Neal. We've seen this from him already, a willingness with 2 Butcher's Glees, the ability to flip up a Jeskai Infiltrator. Very difficult for Cunio to have good blocks here.
And his hand looks stacked. I think it's a Flatten, a Vulturous Haven,
Yep. And yeah, he's just going wide with the infiltrator. No blocks from Cunio. Flip up the infiltrator.
This is producing a ton of card advantage
Yeah.
for him.
Yeah. This. So now the infiltrator's the one in the middle.
Yeah. Mixing it up a little bit.
I haven't seen Stephen Neal working a subway platform with. So I'm pretty sure the card I saw go down is the card I saw go down.
The manifest morph game.
Cunio plays a land, plays Glaring Aegis, taps a creature and says go.
Pretty unexciting turn there for him.
Yeah, but shields are up.
All right, let's see if he can guess correctly. Ooh, nice guess. Well done, Andrew.
Right, he knows what the one next to the Spellfist was not the infiltrator.
Yeah, so he's got a 50-50 chance.
Yeah, but Butcher's Glee
And this
from
time,
Stephen Neal.
This time he's got a trick though. The sands are about to be shaped a bit.
So 5 pass. Oh no!
Ooh, interesting. The Scale Blessing comes down.
The Scale Blessing comes down, eats. Oh wow, that was a Grave Caller.
Oh wow.
The Morph does eat the Glaring Aegis Atarka Beastbreaker, but when the dust settles, Cunio's got a 4/4 and a pretty good read on where the infiltrator is.
Yeah. I mean, he knows where it is absolutely, and I imagine that his, deductive reasoning skills are pretty strong.
By the way, that game we were watching with Daniel Chetti and Jacob Wilson, Daniel did come back from being down to 5 to win that game.
Yeah, things were looking pretty good for him last time we left there, and that Reach of Shadows off the top of the year, that Vulture Haven made all the difference.
So Morph and a Manifest from Cunio. Those dice in front of to sort of keep track of order.
When which came down.
Yeah, very
to
very
prevent the
important.
subway platform game.
Yeah. You don't want to not find the queen there. Okay.
Flatten.
Yeah, he's just gonna flatten the 4-power morph. Yeah, it was a Den Protector.
Nice flatten.
And Elusive Spellfist gets its little bonus. And the 2 manifests, seems perfectly willing to just trade them here. Cunio's down to 8.
Yeah, Cunio can't be thrilled with his position here. I mean, he's got less cards in hand.
Yeah.
The board is looking relatively weak.
So he puts his morph in front of the morph. He puts his manifest in front of the manifest, but keeps his morph.
Yeah, he knows that one's the infiltrator, and that card has been working hard.
Yeah. So he's finally dealt with it, but that card alone has just given him fits and really given. Look at Stephen Neal. He's still got a ton of cards in hand. He's been able to develop his board without really having to play many spells.
It's a really nice ability to have when you're playing.
Yeah.
Now
Here's a Den Protector, and it's going to return Den Protector, I believe.
Seems reasonable.
Morph. The Cunio's a 4. A Butcher's Glee on a Spellfist just kills him here.
Yeah. And we know that Steven has multiple copies of Butcher's Glee in his deck.
So there's Vulturous Haven.
Finds a 6th land.
I think this is going to be a Gurmag Angler.
Oof. It's a nice discount on that 5/5 body there.
Yep. Yep. It's going to pay 2. It has nothing to do with that blue. Just grabs a fistful of cards, exiles them for the delve cost, and plays the 5/5.
Stephen Neal previously ahead in this game, now just dominating. You know.
Previously ahead, now way ahead. Just an update from one of the back tables. Luis Scott Vargas was playing Jeffrey Basor. Luis Scott Vargas wins, so he is now. Looks like he is 9-2. So 7-2 coming in, 2 wins in his draft pod so far.
So let's see how Cunio manages to find a way out of this. He does have the morph, which I suppose is a Den Protector. Ooh, Jamoka's Gift. And now that's a 7-power unblockable creature there on Cunio's side of the board.
Wow.
I mean, he's at 2. He doesn't have a flyer. His opponent has a Vulturous Haven, but scary nonetheless. Oh, now his opponent also has a Hand of Silumgar.
Yeah, and a Zephyr Scribe.
Any non-creature spell kills Cunio at this point. He also needs a creature with reach.
Well, we know he's holding a Shape the Sands, right?
That's true. He didn't have an opportunity to cast that when the Butcher's Glee was cast because of mana constraints, so. And there's a flyer.
He's just got to hope for no spell here. The spell would turn on the elusive spell Fist. And sounds like the Zephyr Scribe is going to go searching for one.
Cunio going to have to chump with the Sky Captain
he
here.
Plays an Abzan Sky Captain. Wow.
Yeah, and I'm not much in the way of options here for Cunio.
Well, Cunio, if he is holding Shape the Sands, he can Shape the Sands the Den Protector, eat the Vulturous Haven, put the Abzan Sky Captain in front of the Hand of Silumgar, then bolster his other morph, which we believe is a Den Protector.
Yeah. And then, I mean, then he has 2 unblockable Fatty Boom Booms that can end the game in, 2 swings.
And then, and he just has to sweat that elusive spell Fist.
That's a sweat, though. That is a brutal one.
Okay. He just blocks. And, because he gets to put the counters on his Den Protector.
Oh, I think it's a Conifer Strider in his hand, not actually.
Oh, okay. Yeah, Shape the Sands would have been very different.
So this is a 9-power unblockable creature on the side of the board for Andrew, but still, he's just...
9 power, unblockable, and vigilant.
Yeah. Not too shabby. Of course, being at 2, still no way to block the Vulturous Haven on the other side of the table. Could cause some issues for him. I believe that's a priest.
A High Priest of Karsi?
Yes.
Okay, not a spell.
He can always go searching for a spell with the Scribe if he wants to. He did just play the land, though.
It looks like he's a little upset that he played the land, actually. He attacks. That's the hand. Andrew Cunio falls to the Vulture Savin. Shows him a Marsh Hulk that was face down. And Stephen Neal is 11-0. We might see a blue-black face-off for 11-0 in this pod if Chris Fennell wins his match this round.
Yeah, and I mean, that's not even that unusual.
I know. Watching the Chris Fennell draft, the Reach of Shadows didn't come back, right? And now, so we know where both of those.
It's a deep enough archetype where if there's, if there are two people in it, those are two really strong decks.
Yeah, two grave callers will put two people into blue black.
Absolutely.
So Wilson and Chetti tied up a game apiece. We're coming in pretty early in the action here. More from Jacob Wilson on turn 3, and Alesha Vanguard from Chetti, but it gets collateral damaged by Wilson sacking his Sultai Emissary. Wow. Flips over his Colligan Skirmisher.
Storm Whisperer or something? Sorry.
Yeah, Colligan Storm Singer.
Storm Singer.
Yeah, and gives his Manifest Haste and gets in for 4.
It's a lot of damage. Pretty early.
Vulture Savin, no exploit.
Yeah, 2-3 body matches up well against what Jacob Wilson has going on right now. Jacob has some type of removal spell, especially one that's cheaper that he can follow up with Threat. Then this is going to be pretty huge for him.
It looks like he has a Butcher, which he might just self-exploit.
Or it's even an upgrade. He gets a 3/3 instead of a 2/2. So
yeah, okay. Yeah, he's gonna just eat his 2/2, get in with his Manifest.
Yeah, already now has Daniel down at 14. And this is pretty important for a deck like Jacob's when he's playing against cards like Butcher's Glee. You just want to keep your opponent's board empty. You want to punish him for playing cards like that. Now, if Jacob attacks above his guys and Daniel, gets
here he comes, but I believe
forced to do something.
I believe there's a Coat with Venom in hand for Chetti. Yep.
So let's see. I think
wow, Sarkhan's Rage, yes.
And that's a nice 2-for-1. I'd be very surprised if he didn't go for that. It deals with 2 cards on Daniel's side of the table
and preserves your board. Yeah.
Yep.
Jacob thinking about it.
It's interesting that this requires this much thought for him. I really like the patience that he has. He's not just going to be like, okay, well, this is an obvious play.
Right.
I'm going to do this. Let's wait. Let's think about this.
Right.
How can I lose this game?
But ultimately, he does make that choice, and to get nibbles for 2 against Chetti drops him to 12. Jacob falls to 18. Did not reveal a dragon.
That's fine. You don't mind falling 18.
And there's a updraft elemental, which can sort of bounce the Silumgar, the Butcher here. Take 2, go to 10.
Reasonable wall body here for Daniel.
Ooh. And there's a Pitiless Horde.
The Horde is back. I like that card a lot. I was surprised we didn't see a dash there. Oh, I guess he doesn't have double black. Is that the issue?
Yeah, it's black 2 to dash. Okay. So that's 5/3 creature at the beginning of your upkeep. You lose 2 life, but it's just huge.
Yeah, for that casting cost.
And what did
Reach of Shadows still with the Horde there.
So oh boy.
Ooh, and he gets haste.
Yeah, that is a hasty Soul Flare. Come in with everybody. 6 damage gets through. Chetti falls to 4.
And Soul Flare does not mind what's up draft elemental. It gets to just run right through him.
6 mana.
Another land means that Jacob can even activate the monument, but he won't need to. There's a
He's got
Hellkite.
Swift Warkite. Gets the Pitiless Horde back.
That's brutal.
Attacking for 7,
That's the best Swift Warkite I've ever seen.
12, 14. It gets pretty gross with Dutiful Attendants, but... And Chetti extends the hand. Jacob Wilson goes to 10-1.
Super
By
impressive.
the way, Jacob Wilson in a dogfight with Alexander Hayne for the Canadian World Magic Cup title.